Boy, this wind's blowing.
Hey, I don't know who's on here yet. Can y'all hear me okay? Let's see. I'm gonna test somebody. Mute. Hey, Marcy, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. This is Callie.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I will be back in just a few minutes.
Hey, girl.
We'll just swap it into this road and back.
You sure? Because I'm on the call. But hey, we're walking.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so Sharon, unmute yourself and see if you can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool. All right, just wait here. Okay, I think we're getting everybody on here. I'm sure some more people will be joining us, but we're gonna go ahead and start. You guys, I'm so happy this hairstyle came back in. This is like how I wore my hair in high school, and it is like I can get away with it, like at the ball games and stuff. It's hilarious. I just thought I would like add that. Okay, so got a lot to talk to you guys about. I'm so excited to share some things with you tonight. And you guys can unmute yourself when you have questions, and you can chat in the little chat thing, and just let me know whenever you're ready to do that. That's totally fine. But I wanted to have a meeting tonight. Actually, I wanted to have it the other night, but Andy's game ran late, and I actually have a reason of why I'm wearing her team shirt, as you can tell. Okay. But anyway, so I just got back from a retreat, and every time that I usually go away on a retreat, I find another piece of me that not necessarily missing, but it's something that can be enhanced. It's something that is brought out in me. A bunch of leaders get together and we share our best practices of what we're doing with our teams, what we're doing with our groups, what we're doing with ourselves, right? And a lot of times the things that matter the most whenever you're growing in this business is not exactly those income producing activities. We're going to talk about that. But a lot of times, and I'm totally guilty on this, okay? But a lot of times when things are cluttered in our life, whether it's our home, whether it's our brain, whether it's our closet, whether it's our bed not being made, it keeps us from being able to really perform in our business every day. And so something that Laura talked about was she gave us this book, which I'm going to be sharing with you guys, and I'm going to share with my directors as well. But she gave us this book, and it's called the BBB. Every year that I go down there, we get a book, and this one is like the enhanced book, and it's the Business Booster Booklet. And what it is, it's the best practices from leaders all over Cincy and what they do. And actually some things I've seen in here and I'm like, oh, we do that. Or, oh my gosh, that's one of my teammates' things. You know, oh, that's what Annette did. Or, you know, that's what Kristen did. So it's really cool to see things from all over because there's not one way to work your business. There's not. There's so many ways that you can work your business, but you have to do you. And that is so important. And that is one thing that during this retreat that we were able to really grasp hold of is that each one of us is individual. Each one of us have great things to bring to the table. And comparison absolutely steals joy. I'm not kidding you. I've been in this company now for 10 years, and I've never thought I'd ever be in anything this long. but I get joy out of it. Yes, there has been many, many times along the journey that I wanted to quit. I was frustrated. I didn't want to show up. I was stuck. I did the comparison game where, hey, you know what? They're a better consultant than me. They're getting more PRV than me. They're recruiting better than me. They're better leaders than me. I can't do this. I can't do that. And when I'm doing those kind of things, it's tearing me apart because I'm believing it. And what we put in our mind and what we introduce to ourselves, we're going to believe it. That's why affirmations are so important. Whenever you get up in the morning and you do those things for you, it is so important. And there's been so many times during the week that I'll miss a day of like telling myself, hey, you know what, you're gonna go and make a difference today. So I'm gonna start with a couple of things. So I've got 3 things I wanna talk about, and we're gonna go into this book. But first of all, before I go into the deep stuff, not dark, the deep stuff, let's start with something kind of light. Let's talk about Facebook. Have you guys noticed the Facebook changes that's been going on? I'm going to open up the chat too, so I can answer any questions that you guys have. But there's a lot of stuff going on with Facebook, a ton of stuff. And yesterday it was down for a little bit. I don't know if some of you guys noticed or not, but today whenever you logged into Facebook, there was a thing about creating, right? And it's never been there before. It's like, what is this? Well, Facebook started out in the very beginning, relationship building. And then people started trying to use it for businesses. And then if you noticed, whenever you would put your hyperlink in your statuses, they weren't seen, right? They weren't put in the news feed because they said, hey, you know what? We need you to go to a business page now. Go to the business page. That's where you need to run your business, and your personal page needs to be your personal stuff. Well, I've never followed that rule because my business page, all of the Cincy people followed it. All of the Cincy people copied everything I did, which is like one of the best compliments you can ever get is when someone actually copies something you do. And something that I try and do, a best practice, is if I see something that someone wrote, I'll send them a quick message and say, do you mind if I, use that on my post? Or do you mind if I reword it or whatever? It's a good thing to do. So anyway, hey baby. She's in here getting some snacks. Anyway, so Facebook is really, really changing. And it is tweaking the way things work. And what I'm going to tell you is probably going to just like scare you to death, but this is how it's going to be. This is how it is. I watched this really big training. We went through some really, you got it? We went through some really crazy stuff this weekend trying to explain, social media and Instagram. And this is the way that our life is going. This is, this is the way that people are going to engage with you, because this day and age, people are really trying to hurry. They're busy and they want things quickly. They want that instant gratification. And we did this whole study on generational things when I was at Summit about like how the traditionalists did it this way, how the Gen X's are going to do it that way, how the millennials are doing it this way, and how the next generation is going to do it this way, okay? Very, very different thoughts. However, things are cyclical. And like I talked about, I think it was like two webinars ago, we talked about this a little bit. And I don't know if we posted the compensation plan video. I need to look at that because that's really important to pass on to your teams. Anyway, squirrel, right? Anyway, so everything is very, it goes around in a circle. So all of a sudden, all of these kids, like Andy's age and Caden's age and older, are getting sick of like Facebook, and they're getting sick of like the social media, and they're getting sick of like feeling bad when they look at things, right? I mean, think about the news media for a second, right? I don't watch news anymore. I don't watch it because my husband got so sucked into it that he was a horrible person to be around all the time, because he constantly was telling me what was going on in the world, what was going on with the election, what was going on with it. I understand needing to be plugged in and understanding things, but I don't want that stuff feeding into my house all the time. And so people feed on negative things for some reason. I don't know why. I think they like drama. I mean, it's like something that people are brought into. And so one of our studies were like, a lot of people are getting away from the Facebook statuses and Facebook this and that because they don't want to be brought into the drama. These are people that really are working their business. These are people who are positive, optimistic people who don't want to get drug into all this stuff, right? And so just like the news, they're like, hey, you know, at 5 o'clock, we're going to go live and we're going to tell you why so-and-so killed so-and-so and why this, and this is going on. And don't worry, if you miss the 5 o'clock, we'll be on again at 10, and then you can catch the late news at 11 or whatever. They want to keep you plugged in. They want to keep you going, right? And so they've studied this younger generation, and the younger generation doesn't want that. They want like instant. They want to see stories of the day. You can see the stories of Facebook are just going on 24 hours and disappearing because they don't want it out there anymore. So what is Facebook doing, right? So Facebook is actually making things better for us. But here's the scary part. Lives. You have to do lives. And I'm going to tell you why. And I wrote this down. There are 3 factors that are going to determine who sees your Facebook now. Okay? So when I tell you, you need to go live opening your kit. You need to go live smelling the new No Limit bars. You need to go live, you know, showing how to change your wax. You need to go live showing how you do your laundry. And you're like, okay, Shannon, I will. And then you post something, just a picture of you like doing something. And you're like, I didn't get the kind of following that I wanted. I'm like, well, you didn't go live. Like I asked you to, right? And look, I'm guilty too. I don't like to go live, but I have to now. I have to. And we're going to have a fun challenge in here whenever we're talking about this. Okay. I hope you guys don't have a bad connection. I hope everybody's okay. Anyway, so the first thing that that Facebook is going to do is they are going to have these 3 factors that are going to determine who sees your videos from now on. If you don't have these 3 factors, your video will not be in people's news feed as much as you want it to be, right? You finally get all prettied up, or you finally get enough nerve to go live and show these bars, and then nobody looks. Nobody is like commenting, and you think, oh, nobody likes me. That's not it. That's not it. It's Facebook. Okay. First thing is called loyalty and intent. Okay. And intent means value, bringing value. These are people that are going to watch you. They know that you bring value to them every time you go live. You're not just going live and showing like a hockey game. You're not going live and showing a concert. That's cool. You're going live at least 3 times a week, and you're showing value to someone. So let's just say, how could we do that? Let's just say that today I said, I'm going to do a how-to video on how to cut a watermelon, right? Some people don't know how to cut a watermelon. And so you put your cutting mat out, you bring up the watermelon, you put how to cut a watermelon to make it easier for your kids and whatever. That has nothing to do with Scentsy, right? Nothing. However, what if I'm cutting up the watermelon and I'm like, gosh, you know what? This reminds me of Watermelon Wave, that scent that we had a while back. Has anybody ever smelled Watermelon Wave? And you start to interact. And then the next time that you go live, you're going to say something like, hey, you know what? Tomorrow I'm going to go live, or Wednesday I'm going to go live, and I'm going to show you guys how to remove stains out of our laundry. And then you incorporate the whiffs and you're teaching them. So when it says loyalty and intent, that means people who are going to continue to watch you. Whenever it says Shannon is live, these people are going to be like, oh, Shannon's live, I better watch it. Okay. If Sharon's live, my Facebook is going to say, you know what? She's going live twice this week and you've watched her. So here she is again. But if you're only going live once, if you're only doing it in a blue moon, you're not going to be watched. Okay. So the first thing is going to be intent and loyalty. And that is when you bring value to someone, something you're teaching, something you're showing, something you're excited about, something you're passionate about. It can be anything, but it needs to bring value. Okay. Number 2, that is going to be, oh, and let me go into this too. A lot of people, when I do those little live challenges, they'll say, oh, well, can I post a recorded video? No. If you were posting a YouTube video of something you did, or maybe you decided to record something on your phone and you decided to put it into your feed and say, oh, I did do a video, but it's not live, you're going to miss out on all the interaction that you would have gotten. You're going to miss out on those relationships that could have been built if you would have been brave enough to go live. I mean, that is just what's going to happen. And Facebook will blast your news feed, and you'll start to get engagement from people while you're on video. But if you just share a video that you just happen to record and you think it's going to get attention, it's not going to get attention, okay? So the next thing that they're going to be looking at is they're going to be looking at consistency. And consistency is that they're looking at seeing if people are coming back to your videos, okay? So if I went live and it's going to say Shannon was live 15 minutes ago, it's still going to be in their news feed. And if consistent people are coming back, if like Kristen's like, oh, Shannon's live, I got to watch her. And it says, oh, Shannon's live, but I'm in the grocery store and I can't watch her right now. I'm going to watch her when I get in the car. And they go to my video. Consistency is going to put your video in their newsfeed. And eventually they're going to get rid of the newsfeed and they're going to go to stories, but we'll get to that in a minute. Okay. The next thing is going to be the video and the viewing duration. All right. That is how long you are live. It's when you can keep people engaged, and especially videos that are at least 3 minutes long. And I've been in this this class, I guess you could say, with learning how to do lives and learning how to speak on stage. I'm better on speaking on stage than I am lives because I'm like, I can see myself. I'm like, oh my gosh, look at me. Kids are walking in, dogs walking in. I mean, my mind is just all over the place. Where I'm better on stage because there's not that many distractions. So you need to make sure that you can limit your distractions. Or like Annalyn's up on a thing right now that I'm worried that she's going to fall off of that just got painted. So my brain's like, oh, Annalyn might fall. So you need to limit your distractions. But at the same time, you guys probably can relate to what I just said, right? If I was just like, oh, my daughter's up there standing on something or sitting on something, I bet you're thinking, oh, yeah, kids. Yeah. So you want to be real as well. But the video duration is when you're going to get people engaged in your videos, and you would go at least 3 minutes long, okay? You never want to go a great big huge 10 minutes on just nothing, right? Nothing. I mean, have you ever seen people go live with like the warmers and the bars, and it's just like, ugh. They're not bringing any value. They're not telling me what the bars smell like. They're not like engaging me. They're not asking me any questions. And so you cut out of their video like 30 seconds in, because you have that first 20 seconds to get somebody's attention. Not even 20 seconds, you have 8 seconds to get somebody's attention. And normally it will do it with a catchy caption that you have, or it'll be something that you say within those first 8 seconds. You can thank them for being there. You can ask them for hearts. You can do whatever. Oh, which reminds me. So I will know that you watched this video tonight, this training tonight. No one else will know this, okay? I want you to post your favorite superhero on our group page when you get off of this. And then I'm going to know that you were on this tonight, okay? And everybody's going to be like, what? Why is everybody posting videos of or pictures of superheroes? Well, it'll be our little thing that we do every time that we do a Zoom meeting. I'm going to give you guys some kind of crazy thing to do that will help me know that you were on this video. And it's going to also get people to say, why did Kristen post Wonder Woman? And why did Joyce post Flash Gordon or whoever, right? And then you'll be able to say, oh my gosh, that meeting was awesome. It was on point, and you're gonna be able to get your people engaged, okay? That's something we learned, that you always need to give some kind of call to action. So that's yours, a superhero, because I'm so ready to see Endgame. I'm so excited. But anyway, so video and viewing duration is gonna be very, very, very important. And Facebook is gonna reward that longer content, okay? Next thing, so really there's 3 things, but it's broken down into 2 things, which is your loyalty and your intent, which has to do with your consistency. Then it's going to be your video and your viewing duration. The last thing is going to be originality. Originality is so, so important. It's whenever you share so much of you that's so original, and you just don't share all these videos. You know how people will like see a video and they'll just share it, you know, like for example, Scentsy puts out videos, right? With Sarah and all of them on the Scentsy page. And then all of a sudden we hit share and it goes onto all of our pages. And we're thinking, everybody's gonna see this. It took all the work out of my hand. I don't need to show the protected surf. I don't need to talk about the no limits. I don't need to talk about the $15 promotion. Guess what? People aren't gonna see it because it's not original. Original would be whenever you see a video and you duplicate it and you say, hey, you know what? They're talking about the $15 thing. You can share it on your page, but you need to go live and explain, hey, the video I just shared is amazing. It's on point. $15 right now could change your life. And let me tell you why. this month I'm gonna do 15 reasons why you should join or why you could be part of this journey or whatever. But you have to have originality. And if you don't, you're not gonna attract what you're looking for, and you're not gonna get that reach that you're looking for. And you have to do this consistently. You're not gonna be able to do this like a week and then all of a sudden get what you want, right? So the reason that you wanna go live at least 3 times a week, and I'm starting this with you, is because you want to be able to build those relationships in between the days you're not going live. You want people to know, oh, she's going live, let's watch her. Because if you go live every single day, people are gonna get tired of seeing you. And you're not gonna have time to build those relationships. So the people who liked your post, who commented on your post, or gave you hearts, or whatever it was, or gave you some kind of call to action, you won't have that time to build. So those things are very, very important, and they will stack your deck in your favor with Facebook and Instagram, okay? So another thing I wanna talk about is eventually your newsfeed's gonna go away. And I don't know when it's gonna happen, but I'm in this little class, I guess you could speak, or call it. It's letting me know what's going on with social media. So that I know how to train you guys, and Cincy will, figure it out too. But I like to be on top of things so that I know to pass it to you guys. So newsfeed will eventually go away. So if Kristen goes live, I may not see that she's live. But if you go to your phone, and I don't know where my phone is, I bet Andy has it. Do you have my phone? Okay, can you get it to me? Give it to me. So if you go to your Facebook, you will see these new little squares, and it's been around maybe about a couple of months. Okay, I'm gonna show you what it looks like. So you'll see. Okay, so if you go to hold on, I'm getting all my messages now that I just unplugged it. Okay, stop. Okay, so if you Kathy has 2 bars. Okay, stop. There we go. So if you go to Facebook, you're gonna see these little stories up here. I don't know, can you see it? Okay. Okay, well, there's stories. Whenever you go to your, this is on my phone, but whenever you go to the further icon over here on the left-hand side, and it's gonna have stories. And then it has add to your story, and then it has everybody else's story. If they have a blue circle around them, like this, you can see this. You see the blue circles right there? If they have a blue circle, that means you have not watched their story. So if I push on it and I watch the story, and it goes through their story, the circle goes away. So that's gonna be a new thing that they're doing. Be like, ooh, Shannon posted something, it's blue, she added to her stories, and if it's blue, it means you haven't seen it yet. And I learned this weekend, so I did not know about this, and I think it's so cool. Also, when you do your stories, and you add pictures. So if I take a picture of my dog sleeping, okay, and I want to make it interactive, you want to make some kind of filter to where it looks very attractive, right? And then you can add any kind of sticker to your thing. So like right now, for example, if I take a picture of you guys on here, right? Let's say I'm gonna take a picture. Let's see if I can do this. Okay, I'm taking a picture. I just took a picture. And I don't know if you guys can see that, so bright, but it's gonna say next. And it's gonna also have stickers up here. So I can push the stickers. Let's see if it shows it. Everything's too bright. See the stickers? And you can add a location, you can add the time, you can add a poll and say, hey, do you wanna smell the No Limits bars? Yes or no? What's your favorite bar? You can ask questions, you can put stickers, you can do all these things. So if I was taking a picture of the dog, I could put a poll and say, are you a cat person or are you a dog person? And then I could put Z's by him being sleeping. And I've got some interaction with my story, and then people are gonna see it. But if I take a picture of like, oh my gosh, this team is absolutely amazing. I love the way that they show up for webinars and they're really hungry to grow. And then I could put like, a plant growing, and then I could put something like, it's only $15 to join us. And then people would see that in my story. And it would make it very, very interactive. And Instagrams is the same exact way. And the generation that's coming up, and generation that's like, I guess, like, I don't know, I can't even really say, because I operate in this. So let's just say 50s and And in the 50s and 60s, they're still doing this. In 70s, they're still doing this. Anybody can learn this. So I don't even like to put it with the generation. But the generation that introduced it to us is more of the millennial generation. And anyone, I mean, my grandma, if she was still alive, would probably be doing this and playing on her stories all day long. My father-in-law, who is 87, I showed him Facebook, and he's constantly making stories. So anybody can do this. But when you make stories, they're going to be gone in 24 hours. So when people see that blue circle or on Instagram, they see something, they go, oh, I need to watch that, or it's going to be gone tomorrow. What was Shannon doing today? And that's whenever you could really get engagement from people. Maybe you're making samples. Maybe you're changing out wax. Maybe you're showing the cleaning stuff. Maybe you're just talking about something in your daily life and you just want to show them. Maybe you went to the zoo. Maybe, hey, I'm only, this far away from my promotion. Give me some hearts and whatever. That's going to be how you are going to do this. And it's happening. We can't stop it. Yes, we can still build our business old school way by door knocking and phone calling and giving that value by giving the face-to-face, but so many people are going to be on social media and Instagram, and it's a way that we need to move to be able to do this as well. But the way that a rule of thumb that I have is I want my business to be able to work if the internet went away tomorrow. And we know it can happen because Facebook can shut us down in a heartbeat and all of a sudden make us pay for it. Or Instagram or, LinkedIn or whatever platform you're using, it could just go away and you have to pay for it. And how many of us are going to pay for it? Not many. We're going to find something else like Band or something else, right? And there's a new app called Band that I've learned about, and I'm going to teach you guys about it. But it's a way that you don't have to worry about everybody else's feed. It's just focused on what you want to know about in the group that you want to talk to. And it's really good with accountability. It's really good with coaching and things like that. Okay. So are there any questions about Facebook? I covered a lot, and I want to make sure I get everything in there. So are there any questions? Did you guys learn anything? I need any more about it? Basically, you've got to work on those stories. Your news feed is going to go away. If you're going to go live, you've got to make it at least 3 minutes. It needs to be original, and you have to have really good content. And if you are listening to a podcast or something, or if there's something you could share, or maybe you love the video or the song that you heard this morning, you can go live and say, oh my gosh, guys, this song was amazing. It's called, Oceans, and it's by Hillsong. And if you get a chance to listen to it, and, don't play it in the background, because if you do, Facebook's going to pick up that it's not your content, and they're probably not going to show it. So be careful using other people's information as well, okay? So one of the things in the BBB happens to be about Facebook. So here's something Laura did, and she got new recruits off of it. But I don't know if you guys have ever heard of building a capsule wardrobe. This is so not Scentsy, right? But it is. So she posted on not Scentsy. Why do I keep saying that? She posted on Facebook that she was going to Switzerland, that she had earned a trip with Switzerland, and she wanted to carry everything that she wanted to use with a 12-day trip in one carry-on. And I'm like, girl, she is crazy. There's no way I could do that. I mean, I needed 2 or 3 bags. Well, she posted about the capsule wardrobe. And she's like, hey, guys, you ever heard of the capsule wardrobe? And people are like, yes, it's great. Oh, what's that? Blah, blah, blah. And so she's like, let me tell you about it. So she started posting it. Just out of this right here, just out of these, 20 things, she got this many outfits out of it. And she shared this on Facebook. And she got like 300, 400 comments and people engaging her about where she was going, what she was going to need. She even got referrals for people who lived over there. I mean, it was crazy just by starting something on Facebook Live by saying, hey guys, y'all ever heard of a capsule wardrobe? I need some help. And this is what I found, and let me teach you about it. And she got so much information. So she showed us that, examples. And then she showed us things like, let's just say that you want to talk to some people about, date nights, right? And you go live and you're like, hey, I found out about 20 questions that you could ask your spouse on date night. How many of you guys ask your questions to your spouse on date night? A lot of times we go, we eat, we talk about the day, we go to a movie, or maybe we go, I can't even think anymore, go bowling or whatever, right? Go axe throwing, because they have that here now. But we don't really talk. We don't really find out about each other. So you could say, I found out about 20 questions about date night. And it says 20 questions to ask your spouse on date night. Now, it's not Cincy, right? But that's interesting, right? It is interesting. And if you saw somebody go live on Facebook about that, they're not selling you something. They're teaching you something. And say, okay, number one, what would you do if you won the lottery? Number two, who was your childhood hero? And it's all these questions that you could teach the world to ask their spouse on date night. And then people would do it and comment and be like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for doing that, okay? Another thing, menu suggestions. Hey guys, I got an Instapot. I don't know how to use it, but look at these menus that my friends gave me. Oh my gosh, I think I'm gonna do this one on Monday. Has anyone ever done Mexican? Has anyone ever, made a fast and easy recipe? Look how easy that is to talk about. We're not talking about Cincy, but yet you're gonna be able to build those relationships with people when they start messaging you and saying, Shannon, thank you so much for going live about that Instapot. I didn't know what I was gonna cook, but when you started talking about the fast and easy, I looked that up and got it in there. I really appreciate it. And then we're gonna start talking about, oh, no problem. You needed fast and easy, so I bet you have a pretty busy life. How many kids do you have? And I'm gonna start building relationships with her. Okay, next thing. I'm just showing you things that she has shown us that she got new team members from, that she got, orders from, she got bookings from. So all of a sudden she's like, hey guys, I'm gonna try yoga. I've never tried yoga before. And I'm thinking about doing it, and I downloaded this thing and it has all of these different yoga positions, and I am not flexible. How many of you guys have done yoga? And then she starts to talk about it. I mean, she got stuff off of that too. So all of these things that she was showing us in the very beginning, we're like, this doesn't have anything to do with Cincy. She's like, yes, it does. These are things that you can build relationships with, that you don't have to go live and go, ooh, what can I go live with today? Oh, I haven't gone live with that warmer. I haven't gone live with that diffuser. That's all Cincy. This is life. It's absolutely life. So then she has, let me show you the one about the social media. So she's like, okay, let's say that you have no idea what to do on social media. Well, guess what? 50 ideas that you can do, content ideas on social media. And first one, before and after. How many of you guys have seen the before and afters where they will take a picture of like my kitchen before, and then all of a sudden after, I put a picture after, right? People are like, oh, I use that color in my kitchen. Oh, I did this. Oh, I like that farmhouse industrial, or oh, I like retro, or whatever. Next one. And these are things you can go live with, okay? The next one could be, and these are also things you could post to get people's interaction. But these are content ideas, like short video tips on things like life hacks. Hey baby, you need to turn that down, okay? I can hear it. If you want to listen to it, you can run upstairs. All right? Thank you. Money saving tips, Some of you guys have done the Dave Ramsey. Go live and be like, oh, I got to tell you guys about this Dave Ramsey class that I've been, doing. And anything that's educational, anything that will teach. Sharing gratitude. What is something you did today? Did you go through Starbucks and pay for the person's behind you, and you started the, pay it forward even though it wasn't going yet? So these are all kinds of things, and I can post this so you guys can see this. But it was incredible, the things that you could do. And then she had social media cheat sheet and what to post and when to post it. There's really not a certain time to post something. You don't want to be like, hey, I'm going live every day at 8 o'clock in the morning, because you can't even handle that either. I mean, something might happen. I could never do that. I could say, hey, I'm going to be here at 8 o'clock every morning. I tried that before. And something happened in my car, the kids needed something, they forgot the lunchbox, whatever, and then everybody's waiting for you at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then you don't have that credibility. So basically, that's when you're going to rely on Facebook to let people know you're live and that they can come back later and see it, and you get that consistency. And then she has like 5 kinds of social content your followers will love. And it has entertaining, inspirational, educational, conversational, connection. All of this are ways that you can engage people, okay? And she does all of this on her personal page. She does not have a business page. She has a VIP page as well, and she uses that for like her whip boxes and to get some feedback and interaction and get people, like to add people to it. Everything she does is on her personal page, because Facebook is going back to business relationships. They see that we were doing our business on our Facebook, right? And they decided, hey, we're not going to share that anymore. And so many of us, our feed wasn't being seen. Then we go to our business business page, and we use that, And how many, this drove me crazy. I did so many trainings, and thank goodness I didn't get you guys to do this because I would not have been happy with myself. But so many trainings where, hey, let's build a business page. Okay, 20 of you guys are on here. Y'all go and write on my business page how amazing I am. Give me some 5 stars. I'll go to yours too, right? Well, yeah, you're going to get up there in the 5 stars, but if you start going through a lot of Scentsy business pages, and you'll see a lot of Scentsy consultants writing incredible testimonials about that consultant because they were trying to build that business page. And I like to build raw relationships with people that add value, make them feel important, make them feel appreciated. And I can't do it through my business page. I have one. Probably if you go to it, I probably haven't posted on it since Christmas. I mean, I do everything on my personal page. And that's totally up to you. It's just this is what she does in her personal page. And then it says 50 social media post ideas. There's some more. So, I mean, she was giving us all this stuff. And like I said, when we first got this book, we're like, this isn't Scentsy. Oh, it's so Scentsy. It's crazy. So then something I thought was super cool was that, and this is what I'm going to do tomorrow, says how to get your house ready in 8 minutes flat. How to get your house company ready in 8 minutes flat. Well, a lot of times we say throw in some wax, make it smell good. People won't pay attention to the mess because it smells so good. Well, then it says, you know, the cleaning ninja of an 8-minute method. Would that not be cool to go live and say, hey guys, I'm going to teach you how to get your house company ready in 8 minutes flat. And then you go through minute 1, make the house smell pretty. Ta-da! Scentsy, right? So you can go around and you can show people, hey, I'm going to change my wax. I'm going to put my diffuser on. I'm going to use my counter clean. Next, clear the kitchen counters. You know, talk about that. Clear the kitchen table. Clear the junk from the living room. And if you want to go live and show it, show it. If you want your kids to be participating, let that happen. If you just want to talk about it and show the products. Switch out the bathroom and hand towels. What can we do with that? We can spray our room spray inside the toilet paper. And when people pull the toilet paper, it's going to smell fresh. Quick scrub to the toilet. We can put our room spray in the toilet water, right? Our toilet cleaner that we have now, our bathroom cleaner. Dust off surfaces, wipe down things. That is so interesting to me. If someone went live and was like, how to get your house company ready in 8 minutes flat, I would be on there. I would be watching every single bit of that. And I'd be like, that is good. That was some good stuff. I'm going to have to watch what she does next time. You see what I'm saying? Okay. I am not a fan of my business page, but was under the impression that we had to use it. Thanks for info. Now, if you're going to use, it's really kind of crazy. If you're going to do, you're going to see some things come out with compliance about business pages and about personal pages. And the only reason that they have told us to use our business page is because Facebook's rule was use your business page because you were going to go to Facebook jail, right? But if you have attraction marketing, this is attraction marketing. This is not posting a warmer for $35 and the Mother's Day special for $35. You can put that on your business page all day long. If you want attraction marketing, you can go live with that Mother's Day warmer and those bars and then talk about all the other ideas that people use for Mother's Day warmers. You know, some people don't like flowers and talk about your favorite flowers if you have a beautiful flower garden. Attraction marketing is what you're looking for. So you're not posting stock photos and you're not posting things that just anybody could put because that is business. Facebook's gonna see that as business. So Scentsy gonna be like, hey, you know what? If it's business, put it over here. Another thing, but it was only because of Facebook. But attraction marketing you can do all day long. And the other thing was that if you're cross promoting, that's big. Let's just say that I sold light bulbs, right? And I sold the LED ones that were wireless that I could control with my phone because I have some of those in my office I haven't used yet. Let's say I did that. Well, if I was talking about these light bulbs all the time, that you could use them in our warmers, but I also sold Scentsy, that would be cross-promoting. So I could not put that on my page with Scentsy, me as a Scentsy consultant. I would have to have a different business page for that, and I'd have to have a different business page in Scentsy. So you can't cross-promote. Does that make sense? I get more reaction from my personal page versus my, yeah, exactly. Another thing that, you know, like I said, the capsule wardrobe, I'm not going to go into this much longer because I know, but let me check the time. Let me see what time it is. Okay, we're good. But I mean, there's all kinds of cool things that you can post about. And, you know, we're going to have like a fun challenge and we're going to do that. And you guys are going to come up with your own original content and it's going to be so much fun. And it's going to be things like, you know, cleaning. And there's another one, happy home cleaning schedule, because these are things that you guys need to know about and that our customers need to know about. And I remember whenever our laundry came out, it was called Layers. Brittany Clapp, she's amazing. She's a consultant out in Washington, Seattle, Washington. And she made these cute little tags. And it was like how to get ketchup out, how to get ink out, how to get oil out of your clothes, how to get grease out of your clothes. And it had nothing to do with Scentsy. But she got these little tabs and we cut them out. And then we put the little, what do you call it, the little ring through it. And we gave it to people whenever we gave them their Layers products. And people thought that was so cute. So then they kind of started incorporating it in like laundry or baskets or laundry with boxes and things like that. So people love any kind of life hacks. And sometimes life hacks are what helps us. I found out about dry shampoo last year and it saved my tail, because I would go to reunion and I'd wash my hair, and my hair, I mean, it is a mess. See, it's like really curly if I don't straighten it, and it's really like greasy and stuff from practice. But it's just the fact that like that dry shampoo, it just helped me because I was able to put the dry shampoo in, style my hair, and go and get there in time. And it was a time saver. And those are things that some people need to know about. Those are things that even you guys could know about to help you in your business. So anyway, the whole point of this whole Facebook training and Instagram training and social media training is to just do something that is attracting other people to you, that they knew you gave them great content. They knew you gave them some value. Okay? So again, put your favorite superhero on our page whenever you are done with this, because I may forget to talk about it again. Okay. So now let's talk about something else. We're going to talk about something that happened with me, and it's so crazy. I think that it's going to be tough to talk about. Okay. How do I even start? Okay, so you guys know about your why. And you're like, oh, my why. I know my why, right? And I'm like, you know, I know my why too. But do I know my why? So there's something called 7 Layers Deep. And Allison Dalkey talked about this in one of her online steps to success. And you've heard this many, many times. But I saw this happen in front of my eyes at this retreat. And it killed, I mean, I was just like, oh my gosh, I just can't believe it. So basically, you don't know your why till you go 7 layers deep, okay? So you could say, why do you want to be a Scentsy consultant? Because I want to, you know, empower other people. I want to teach people to be better, or, you know, whatever. And then, this is that girls. And then I said, okay, well, why is that important to you to empower other people? And she's like, because I want to leave a legacy. I want, you know, something for my family to remember. I want these people to go and actually change their lives and know that Scentsy wasn't just a product, it was something that changed their life. Like, okay, well, let me ask you this. And you're going to go from your head to your heart, okay? And it's going to be like, so that's important to you. So why is it so important to you to leave a legacy? Why is it so important to you for people to know their worth? And then they're like, well, I just don't ever want people to go backwards in their business. I don't want to go backwards in my business. Okay. Well, I asked you why, you know, it's important to you to leave a legacy. I've asked you, why is it important to, you know, empower other people? Why is it important to you not to go backwards? You see, you're completely away from what you started with. Like, oh my gosh, I just don't want my family to ever go through, and this is what she's saying, I don't want my family to ever go through what I went through. And it was just awful. And she started crying. And they knew they were getting somewhere. Like, okay, so why is it important that your family doesn't go through what you went through? And like, gosh, there were times that I showed up and with you know, not enough lunch money, because my mom and dad, you know, they worked so hard, and they were never around. And when they would work, it would go to all the things that they wanted and not what we wanted. And they just forgot about us a lot. And I just don't want anyone to ever experience that. And they want to be able to, and you can see it's getting away from what they said originally, right? Like, okay, well, why is it important that that this happens? And she was like, gosh, it's so important to me for my kids to know how much I love them. It's so much important for me to not get so bogged down in life to where, my mom, had 4 jobs and she was just so concentrating on, selling her time for money that she forgot about us. I don't want to forget about my kids. And then she was like, well, why is it so important to you that you don't forget about your kids? And she's like, because when I was a kid, I didn't have control. I didn't have control of anything. I didn't have control of getting my mom's attention. I didn't have control of, getting my dad's attention. I didn't have control of like letting them know that I needed lunch money. I don't want my kids to ever have to go through that. And it came down to that she needed to be in control of her life. Therefore, that was a why of why she was doing what she did. And then another girl's was, it was basically that when she got down to it, she said that all this stuff about her family and all this stuff about her parents, and she just kept making excuses like, I just want my kids to have this, and I want my kids to, have the car that they always wanted. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, I want to be able to do this. And they kept going. And then all of a sudden it came down to her crying and saying, my mom is in heaven now. And whenever she died, I was in a bad place. And I couldn't give my kids these things. And I wanted her to be able to see that I was successful and that I can do the things that she told me I could do, because when she died, I was in a horrible place. And I didn't ever want her to see me that way. And it's important to me for my kids to never, ever see me or see me the way that, or me see them, whatever it was, the way that my mom saw me or something. And we just like started crying. And it was like, wow, that is what moves her, right? And so this started winning on me. And I'm doing the regular stuff, and I started talking about, that I've always wanted a horse, or, it starts out easy. Like, why did you join? For the discount. Okay, well, why did you join for the discount? Because I wanted my house to smell better. Why did you want your house to smell better? Because smell really brought happiness to me. And whenever it would smell fresh, it would make me feel good about myself and not bad about myself. Well, why did you feel bad about yourself in the beginning? And you start digging. It goes from your head to your heart. And you're like, well, I guess I always feel judged. I always feel like if someone comes in and I don't have things the way that they need to be, that they think I'm a bad mom, or they think I'm a bad wife, or they think that, I'm a bad whatever. I'm like, well, why is it important for people to think this way? And then you start, well, in my last marriage, blah, 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 blah. And we started going somewhere that I didn't see going. I thought I was going to be like, I was told I would never be anything. I was told that, I'd never have horses. Well, anyway, I had this shirt with me whenever we were down there. And I remember like I'd packed a pink shirt and we had to have this pink thing. And I had this shirt with me. And she was talking about like, okay, Shannon, you haven't really gotten down to your life. And I walked in my bedroom about 30 minutes after that because we hadn't gotten down to mine. And I saw the shirt laying in my suitcase. And I started crying. And I came back out there and I was like, okay, Laura, I know what it is. And she's like, what? And I said, and this is going to make me cry. I know it is. So I've been in Cincy for 10 years. And I've had all these reasons and all these great, wonderful things that have happened to me through Cincy. All these incredible friendships. All of this incredible freedom that's come. All of these lives that are changing just from me being able to share something. But something that was very dear to me was the fact that I felt like when I was in that relationship with my ex-husband, I was robbed of Peyton's childhood because of how depressed I was, that I could not be present with her during that time. And I remember thinking, I gotta get this back. So then whenever I had Peyton, Christian, and Andy, right. And before that, I was working an 8 to 5 job where I was a chemist, and it was great because I go in there and I would do the test And I would get the results and I would go home and I didn't have to bring it home with me. But the problem was that the FDA didn't care about my time. They had to have that test passed. And there were times I missed Peyton's recitals. There were times I missed Peyton's volleyball practices. There were times I missed Peyton's games. There were times I didn't get to pick up Peyton from preschool on time because this FDA was so much more important, right? And I wanted to do the veterinarian thing because I had the degree, but I also had a major in chemistry that I could continue to like work, like give my time away for money so that maybe I could eventually get a horse or maybe I could eventually do something with veterinary science. But everything was like my time for money and my time for missing out on my kid. So I had this deep, dark thing inside me of that I felt like I missed her life from 0 to 3 because I was so depressed I couldn't get out of bed because this guy just said these awful things to me that I believed. And I thought I was a horrible mom. I thought I was a horrible wife. I didn't think that I had any worth. And it made it physically impossible for me to get up and like make my kid breakfast. To where I'd wake up and she'd say, Mommy, I'm hungry. I'm like, okay, we'll go make you some breakfast. And I'd fall back asleep and then I'd wake up again and she'd be sitting at the end of the bed with like some cereal. Mommy, you didn't make breakfast. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? But all this started coming back. And I hated going to the grocery store whenever I was in that place too, because I would always be ridiculed about like what I bought and how much I bought and why I bought it and what recipes I was going to make and whether they like, I mean, it was just everything I did was wrong. So therefore I wasn't present in Peyton's life like I wanted to be. And then all of a sudden when I moved here and I had this 8 to 5 job and I missed out on all her things, it broke me. So when I walked in there and saw this suitcase and saw this shirt in my suitcase and it's handling this game, I was like, oh my gosh, I am doing what I want to do. I'm spending time. I'm not only just on the bleachers, I'm out there with her. I'm coaching her. I am doing something that my heart desires to be with my kid. And because I showed up, she showed up. And I didn't have that with Peyton. I hate that I didn't know my worth back then. I hate that I didn't look for something else. And I hate that I didn't notice it until now. But it was a beautiful moment because it made me realize my why was being present and not missing out anymore. And, so many of us have part-time jobs, some of us have full-time jobs. But if you're present when you're home, that's great. I wasn't. My mind was so messed up, I couldn't be present. And then during this whole Cincy journey, I went through some things that were so hard that it almost took my mind again and made me not present with these kids. And I was like, I am so blessed to have this business to where I can do basket parties and the employees can work for me out there in the world. I can do bingo parties online. I can do Facebook parties. I can design a life that runs my business instead of a business that runs my life. And it was incredible. And it took like 7 levels deep. So I want you to really, really challenge yourself and say, these people that are joining for $15, they're seeing that warmer. That's all they're seeing. They're seeing the warmer, the testers that they might melt. They have to download a lot of the things to be able to, learn about Cincy. Do you know how many people have come to me in this group and said, I don't have a printer, I don't have ink, I can't download this, and then they're going to miss out. They're going to miss out because they don't understand the opportunity that is there. And so there are going to be people next year who are going to be walking across that stage and saying, I joined for $15, but I had no idea I'd find myself. I found myself through a $99 deal. And I'm still finding myself. You see what I'm saying? And you guys are finding yourself. It's absolutely crazy. So something you could do is you could print it out. Like Kristen, you could print it out and you could send it out. But you have got to be rooted in your why in this business and why you're doing it. And it's going to evolve over time. It might be to pay a car payment, and then all of a sudden it might be to like have some extra things. It might be to pay a wedding like I am with Peyton and, that Annette did, with Christina. And now it's even gotten bigger probably with her grandchildren and her happy place and the things that she has in life. Your why is going to evolve. But when you go 7 layers deep, it's always going to get to that initial thing that your heart desires. And that's going to happen every single time. So that was like super like deep, and I didn't mean for it to go deep, but I just want you to know that every single person that comes through this company and joins for $15, $49, $59, $99, their life can be changed. Their life can absolutely be changed by teaching them how to do basket parties and pulling in $600 a month just by doing $2,000 in orders. And yes, I said just doing $2,000 in orders because it's not hard. If your passion's in this business and your passion's for the products, and you go live and you start building relationships and you get out your samples and you get out your borrow bags and you ask for referrals and you do the things that Cincy says do, you will have $2,000 a month. I was with people this weekend who have $2,000 or more a month just from follow-ups. That's not including their parties that they have. That's not including their online things that they have. And every time Cincy does an LTO, you need to go live with it. You need to share it. And you need to let people know, hey, you know what? My company is doing incredible things. They've come out with these LTOs. Like on the 24th, the Aladdin thing is going to come out. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. That's all I can say. It will probably sell out. So you probably need to let people know on May 24th, there's something really big coming in Cincy. You're going to hear from me every time we do an LTO because I don't want you to miss out. Because people are going to miss out. Just like the Dumbos, just like the Stitches, they're going to miss out. And more are coming. They're boom, 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 boom. They're coming. Because our business is going to run on the track of what is happening right now. Amazon has deal of the day. Cincy Success has already gone to deal of the day with our business supplies. Everything's going to go to LTOs. And it's forcing you to make a relationship with your customers. It's forcing you to make that relationship with new people who would join your team. I mean, I sent out so many things on the $15 kit, and it's unbelievable how many people are like, nope, 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 don't have time, not busy, I'm too busy, blah, blah. Let me tell you something. If someone tells you that they're too busy, that is someone that you probably need on your team. Busy people get it done. And I'm going to tell you that because Cincy will send out a message and say, hey, will you do a training at Reunion? And I'm thinking, don't they know how crazy I am right now? Don't they know that I can't do another training? People are probably getting sick of hearing from me, and when am I going to fit this in? But guess what? When I talked to Sarah, and I'm like, okay, Sarah, I'll do it. She's like, I do it. She goes, I know how busy you are, but you always find a way to get it done. That's what busy people do. They find a way to get it done. If you are in this company and you finally hit lead, whether you're certified or whatever, when you're certified, there's behavior like we talked about last time. That's sales, only sales. But when you become a lead, there are people underneath you that are relying on you, even though it's not your place. You're not responsible for someone's success. You are responsible to their success. Whether they want to take it from you or not is fine. But as a sponsor, you can let them know, hey, this is what is available. This is our training. Cincy's doing everything for us, guys. They're sending the onboarding emails out. All you got to do is follow up with them. That's it. They're sending out, hey, welcome to Cincy. This is what you need to do day one. They're sending out another one. If you go into our, it's right here. She put this in our BBB too, which was incredible because I didn't know about it. But there's a thing, and it says that, okay, so we have our Sensational Start program, right, that all of our newbies are going to get. And I'm going to do a new consultant call on Friday that I will record, and you guys can pass it along to your people, or I might just even do it live in the group. I don't know yet. But the Sensational Start program, if you go into your news tab or your workstation, whatever, it tells you day 1, day 2, day 3, what email they're getting, what they need to look at. It's going to say all the way up to day 50, and then you are able to just kind of follow along with it and be like, okay, on day 57, they got this email. Let me ask them, what did they think about that video? They probably didn't watch it, right? But if you can get someone to stay with you on that journey for 70 days and they taste what it feels like to get a paycheck to pay their car payment, or they taste what it feels like. I'll never forget, my first paycheck was $47. $47. I did a $230 party or something like that. and it was at the church where I had given them some things. And our shortage of what we needed that month, because he was building this new business and we just got in the house, was $46.71. And my check came in, it was $47. And you got to think, I was working in this job to where I felt like I couldn't be present anymore. And then I got pregnant with Caden, and I stayed home with Caden, Christian, and Andy, and I had them so quickly and so close together. And it's what I've always wanted, and I love them to death. They're just amazing. But I still wasn't healed from what had happened to me in my past. So I was constantly, am I a good mom to them? You know, am I doing this? Am I doing that? And I was judging myself every day. And I was only doing it to myself. And then the first couple of years in Cincy, I was so chasing my worth. Like, I remember Steve saying, Shannon, I don't get why what's your drive? You know, we're doing fine. You know, I can totally take care of us. You know, why are you working so hard? And I remember thinking, because I can. And it's making me feel good to change lives. And people calling me and saying, oh my gosh, I paid, you know, for brand new shoes for my kid who wanted them. Oh my gosh, you know, I gave back to this fundraiser and I felt so good because they were able to do this. And oh my gosh, I was able to stay home. All these things made me realize that this is where God was calling me. The night that I became a director, and I had to, the night that I actually joined, and you'll probably know this, but the night that I joined, I knew I was joining for the discount, but I asked God, if you want to use this, and use me how you feel fit. But I had no idea what was going to come from it. I had no idea that all these amazing things would come from it, and all these amazing friends, and all these trips, and, you know, being chosen as the shining star. And really, I had no idea any of that was happening. I just wanted my house to smell good. And then I remember when we had to choose our name for our team, and I had 9 people. 9 people when I became a director, because we were just adamant about sales. We were going to get those Christmas sales. Not Christmas sales, Mother's Day sales. I became a director at the end of May, but all 9 people were on fire, and that doesn't happen. But we would have meetings, we would get together, we would talk. They would be like, oh, I got $500, I got $600, and then I was just selling, and I'd already had my follow-up in place. And I became a director. And that just doesn't happen anymore. And I remember having to choose my name. And I remember liking the name Evanescence. And I liked the name Heaven Sent. And I sent it and they're like, nope, Heaven Sent's taken. And I was like, well, you know, I like Heavenessence. It's like the essence of heaven, and it's a room of heaven. And God is really blessing me. And I don't know what he's doing, because my first party, I put everything on the table and walked in there like I was waiting for the consultant to come. But I booked 4 parties off of that one party where I walked in there and I was like, oh, I guess I better show you guys this stuff. I don't know what I'm doing. And we learned together and had so much fun. And they're like, yeah, let's do this at my house. But it took me going and doing the hard and the scary things in order to grow in this business. And that is what it's going to take for you guys. So you got to figure out what your why is. You have to. And Robin Constopoulos is the best in the world to be able to dig deep and get your why out of you. But I will totally sit with you and figure it out, because I know we've done some coaching calls and we figured out strategies and we figured out what your team needs and whatever, but I don't think we've gone deep, and it's time to go deep. It's time to go deep within yourself, because when you figure out what it is that you're waking up for every morning, you know that this business is changing lives. And they were asking me about, what are some of the important questions that I think being in Cincy for 10 years would be if you're talking to someone new. And I was like, okay, well, first of all, I need to ask them, do they believe Cincy changes lives? That's something that's never been asked to me. And a new person will be like, well, yeah, of course, your house smells good, this and this. That's when you can incorporate all the stories from people that you know on your team. That, hey, you know what, they might not relate to you because, you know, you stay home and they work really hard and they're working to make ends meet. But you know what, there's somebody on the team that does have that same story. Or maybe you're having to stay home and you're taking care of your kids and there's some special needs that have to happen and you have to be there for them. And you know that maybe your story doesn't relate to them, but someone on our team is going to run into someone like that who needs to hear from someone to know they believe in them and that it can be done. That's what these stories do. That's why you have to be able to get out there and be able to share all of our stories. And that's what makes up our why. And then there's an emotional attachment that occurs once you figure out what it is that you're actually showing up for. You know, you guys don't show up on this webinar just to hang out. You know, I'm trying to give you information that will help you in your business, and I'm investing my time in you because I believe in you. And I tell you all the time, since he believes in you, I believe in you. You have to believe in yourself. And when you get to that place of believing in yourself, that comes from the actual things out there. Like I'm telling people, do you believe Cincy changes lives? Let me tell you what's happened. There's a girl I met at a retreat, and she's going to go live on our page. I don't want to tell her whole story, but she had me in tears also because she found Cincy, and it was a survival thing for her. She was running for her life from someone in her life. And Cincy came into her life, and the people that came in her life have lifted her up and helped her and helped get away and helped her with her kids. And, you know, no, I think it had something to do with like, she was beat and she had bruises on her back, and she went to work at Walmart or grocery store, and the security guard happened to notice that she was hurting really, really bad. And he got somebody else to ask her, and she's like, hey, are you okay? She's like, oh, I'm fine. And then somebody like touched her back, and she's like, oh. And then they went and looked at her shirt and saw all the bruises and all the things. And the security guard was like, either you are going to leave him, or I'm going to go get him arrested right now. And the girl that had, you know, witnessed the whole thing, happened to be in Cincy, was like, girl, I think I have an answer for you. And she told the whole story, and it just blew my mind how her life was changed from this one person witnessing something like that. You know, if I was at Walmart and I witnessed that, I don't know that I would say, hey, I got an answer for you with Cincy. They'd be like, oh my gosh, poor girl, she needs to get out of that relationship. But this girl said, hey, I think I have an answer for you. I think there are people in my team that have been where you are, and I have a support system. Let me put you on my team page. Let me put you in touch with these people. And she joined. She joined because of those relatable things that someone saw and helped her with. It was incredible. And then another question was, you know, what kind of expectations do you have of me as a sponsor? Because let me tell you the expectations that I have of you as a, you know, a director or a consultant. And that's so important. There's a book called Expectations Hangover that you have to read. It will change your life. It changed my marriage because I had expectations of Steve when he walked through that door that he wasn't meeting, that would put me in a horrible mood. And he had expectations of me when he walked through that door that I wasn't doing, that put him in a horrible mood. And we would just eat, and just bicker. And I'm like, well, you didn't, you know, take out the trash, and you didn't do this, and you didn't stop and do this. And he's like, well, you didn't ask me about my day. I'm like, well, how am I supposed to know? I can't mind read. And then you sit down and you're like, expectation. What do you expect from me? And then you can let them know, wait, that's too high. I can't do that. This is what I can do. But I will work on this because I know it's important to you. That's like so many things would have been different in my business. If I would have known the expectations from customers, if I would have known the expectations from hostesses, if I would have known the expectations from teammates, things would have been different. But I just assumed, you know, either A, they wanted help in their business, or they wanted, you know, a delivery to pick it up from me instead of me taking it to them. I mean, I had all these expectations that I never asked. And it helps so much. It clears the air. Boundaries can be established right away. And it helps you whenever you're first recruiting and you're first talking to someone and you're like, hey, you know what? A couple of things I need to know. Do you believe Cincy changes lives? Because why did you join? Wow, you want to stay home? Look, Tabitha and Mary and Sally and, well, you know, Julie and Emily, they all stay home now because of Cincy. And I can put you in touch with them, right? Then the next thing would be, you know, let me tell you the expectations that I have of you as a consultant. You know, we have to have 200 1 month out of 4 months. But if you really want to build this business, then give me your first 70 days. And let me tell you why. Blah, 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 right? And let me find out the expectations you have of me as a sponsor or as a director. And that's when they could say to you, you know, they could say, well, I'm expecting you to do it all for me. I'm expecting you to be available at midnight on the last night of the month to help me put in my orders. You're like, no, whoa. There are no Cincy emergencies after 8 o'clock at night. And let me tell you why. Because your family comes first, or that comes first. And this doesn't. Now, if you already have talked to your family and you're like, hey, on Tuesday and Wednesday nights, I am going to be up and I'm going to be working my business, there's an expectation right there that you have already told them about. They know mom is going to be in her office on these 2 nights. So the other nights, you might be doing something with them. But they can't expect all the time for you to be with them because you have now told them what's going on. Okay? That was another question. And there was another question, which was, what's the best way to contact you? What's the best way to communicate? Because some people use Marco Polo. Some people use text. Some people don't answer the phone. Some people hate email. You got to find out these things. And when you find out these things, it helps you with them. And then you can ask them, what inspires you? Who inspires you? And, people would ask me, who inspires you? My science teacher inspired me. That's why I fell in love with science, because she had a passion for it and blah, blah, blah. And it really didn't have to do with science. It had to do with the way she engaged me. It had to do with the way that she handled her life situations. That was inspiring to me. So I'm able to look at them and be like, she's inspired by this. And these are the people on my team that do that. Okay. So reason that I'm going to this is because you guys took a test and we're almost done. You guys took a test. So I'm going to share my test with you. And it's right here. I don't know why that came up. Hold on. Let's see. Wait a minute. I don't know. You guys see my screen when I do that? Do you see anything coming up? Nothing's coming up yet? Okay, hold on. Let me see if I can get it to come up. Here it is. Okay, now do you see something coming up? Okay, so there wasn't anything that came up a minute ago, right? Okay, because I didn't know if you saw the other test. Okay, cool. So you guys took the test. This is so important. I had no idea. So this is mine. These are my results from the test that you took. And the test was a high 5 test. If you want to take it, take it. But it showed you what your number one thing is about you. That makes you you and helps you in your team, helps you in your life, with your family, whatever. And mine was coach, because you have to answer 100 questions. You have to be completely honest. You slide the thing back and forth. There were some that I didn't even slide it because I wasn't sure how I felt about it. But number one was coaching. And I was like, wow, that's so cool. Because I felt like that's something that I really want to do. And the fact that that came out was really cool. But we asked everybody there, if you got coached, raise your hand. So different people raise their hand. So she's like, okay, everybody who got coached, go over there and get in that corner. Okay? Everybody who got optimist, go over there in that corner. Everybody who got, deliverer, get in that corner. Those seem to be like the top 3, right? And then there was like believer and self-believer and philomath and all these things. So there were independent ones, and then there were groups of people who did this. So this is so interesting. Okay, this has to do with the top 5 people that you hang out with too. All right, so all of a sudden we're in this group and all of us are coaches. There's 5 of us and we're all coaches. And she's like, okay, I want each one of you guys to talk about why is it important to you being a coach? What is it that's so important to you to, get across to people whenever you're talking to them? Whenever someone meets you and you're going to leave them, what is the one thing that you really wish that you could impact? Or when you're working with your team, what is it that you want to do? Most of us were like, we want to empower them. We want them to feel their worth. We want them to know that they are important. We want to challenge them in their success. We want to do accountability, right? Then she's like, okay, now I want you to tell me what are some things that that hinder you from being able to accomplish the things that you want to as a coach? And they were like, oh my gosh, so many things. Number one, sometimes they're not accountable. Sometimes they frustrate me so bad because they don't understand that the potential that they have, because I see that potential and they just don't listen to me, right? They don't believe in themselves. They won't show up, blah, 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 right? Every single one of us had the same exact kind of, oh yeah, I totally feel you. So then she was like, okay. Then she went through the deliverers, and then she went through the believers and the optimists and all this stuff. She goes, okay, now I want you guys to form groups of 5 or 4 with different results in each group. So we had a coach, we had a deliverer, we had an optimist, we had a, what was she? She was a believer. Then we had a peacemaker. Peacemaker didn't come up in mine. And we had to ask the same things. We had to say, what are some things that you want to be able to do with, why when you're a deliverer and you read your definition of what deliver is. So I read mine as coach and she read hers as deliver. So what are the things you want to do whenever you talk to someone, you know, in your business, in your team? What are important things as a deliverer that you want to do? She says, like, okay, so what are some things that, you know, hinder you and do this? Well, it was so weird because this girl, this is how that story came out with that girl about the bruises on her back. She said something, and I was like, gosh, that sounds so interesting. Tell us about it. And she was like, oh, I've never told my story. I'm scared to tell my story. You know, no one ever listens. I'm gonna tell them. I was like, we're all ears. We want to hear it. And so she started to tell her story. We sat out there for 25 minutes while she was boo-hooing and crying and telling us her story. And then we're like, you know, what are you? And she's like, a deliverer. Like, what hinders you from being a deliverer? No one ever listens. At what hinders us from being a coach? Sometimes we talk too much and we don't listen. So I was hearing a deliverer say, no one ever listens. And I'm thinking, but they're not listening to me. And she's teaching me, I need to be quiet and listen sometimes. Then there's the believer and the optimist who's like, well, I just want everything to be positive, and I just want people to see the silver lining and blah, 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 blah. And what, you know, hinders you from doing this? Well, people just don't blah, blah, you know what I mean? And then you talk to like the peacemaker, and they're like, well, I understand that you want to see everything that way, but there's always another side to another story that you're forgetting about. So what was happening was we were realizing that the 5 people that sometimes we hang out with are actually coaches. And actually the people that we brainstorm with are actually just like us. So I had you guys take the test, and a lot of my leaders got coaches. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. Because we're going to all see the same exact way every single time. I might have an idea, and it might put it into action. Kristen could do this with it. Sharon would do this with it. Tim do this. You know, Kate do this, whatever. And so on. All these people that got coaches, we're thinking the same way. There's a detriment to that. We're missing out on other people's feelings and other people's thoughts. So what's so important is I want you guys to find out whenever someone comes into your group or someone comes into your team, what are they? Yes, we have our love languages. We find out about, like, you know, what people's gifts are. You know, what is it that, are they acts of service? Are they love? Are they, what is it? Words of affirmation, gifts, quality time, touch, whatever. We find out those things, but we never really find out what makes them tick, right? We know how to award them. We know how to recognize them. We know how to do these things. But how do they think? And this kind of taught us about thinking. So I started laughing because I didn't get empathizer. And a bunch of people got empathizer as their second and third one. I was so grateful I didn't get empathizer. Do you want to know why? Because empathy ended up really hurting me in my business for years, because I would attach the results of someone else to me. And I would take it personally when they left the business, when they felt like they failed. I felt like a failure as a leader. I felt like a failure as a friend. And one thing is, the best thing I can ever tell you is that you have to take your emotions out. When you're coaching someone and you're helping someone, you guys have heard me say this before. I'm like, hey guys, I love you. And for the next 10 minutes, I'm gonna have my coaching hat on, and we're not gonna talk about any friendship stuff, because your business is important to you and it's important to me. And I wanna help you get your goals, right? So I've established a boundary. They know my expectation that we're gonna be talking about business. But when you start a call and you're like, what's going on? They're like, oh my gosh, it's so bad. My neighbor just came over, and, you know, here's something for me. They put tack strips in their yard, and, you know, my cats and my dogs got hurt, and I've been at the vet, and and my mom and this, and this, and this, and this, and all of a sudden you get wrapped up in this whole thing, and you're like, oh my gosh, I can't talk to them about getting their $200 in this month. I can't talk to them about going live on Facebook. Their world is a mess. That's why you want to talk about business first. And then you can tell them, you know, afterwards we're going to visit, you know, your life, or we'll have another time to be able to do this, but today we're going to do this. And it helps so much. I wish I'd have known that, because there were so many times that people would tell me I'm a false leader, or they would tell me that I wasn't good enough, or they didn't like the way I did it. Or I would call them and they'd be like, you know, nobody will buy from me. No one will, you know, book parties with me. You haven't taught me how to do this, and you haven't taught me how to do that. And you. And guess what? I took it. I accepted it. I lived with it. It hurt. But I learned that you can't, if you're an empathizer and that's your number one thing, that's fantastic. but you need to learn the skill that comes with being an empathizer. And part of that is those boundaries, those expectations, and not getting that emotional attachment to someone else's results. Some people are so focused on the results, they don't see the process. You know, it's just like people saying, you don't see the forest for the trees. They are so focused on getting certified, or they're so focused on getting the trip to wherever are we going, Marco Island. They're so focused on these things, they don't understand. Wow, they had 50 conversations this month. Wow, they had some PRV orders that came through, or PWS. Hey, I'm on this. I just want to let you know, okay? I'll be done in just a few minutes. So I don't, okay? Because that's really loud. Okay. It's okay. Anyway, they didn't pay attention to those PWS orders. They didn't pay attention to the itty bitty things. They just paid attention to that result. You know, it's just like me saying, I'm going to go work out for 3 months and 4 months and I want to lose 20 pounds. And all of a sudden, 3 or 4 months come by and I didn't lose the 20 pounds. I'm like, oh, I'm a failure. But I didn't look at the inches that I lost. I didn't look at the dedication I had. I didn't look at the time that I went walking. I didn't look at like how many pounds I went up every single time I did reps. I didn't look at the little things. They're so focused on the results. And that's what happens with empathizers, is that all of a sudden they'll start talking to someone and they'll get pulled into their life of what's going on, whether it's, something really bad going on. And if it's something really, really, really bad, you're probably not going to have a coaching call with them, right? They're going to let you know, hey, I can't meet. But you get so drawn in that it just starts to flood your brain and you don't feel worthy of being able to help them because they're so in their own place and you don't feel like you can help them. So you got to be able to have that skill set of being able to detach yourself from that emotion. I remember my lawyer telling me that whenever I was going through that horrible divorce with my ex. He was like, Shannon, you're running on emotions. You've got to detach from these emotions. Yes, you can't stand them. Yes, he's cheating. Yes, he's doing this stuff. But you need to look at this, and this. And man, it made a difference. But somehow or another, I forgot it when I got in Cincy. And I had to go through situations to where I had to remember it again. I had to be like, wow, you know what? I am not why she quit. I am not why she thinks she's a failure. I'm not why she can't book parties. She didn't show up. She has just as much time during the day that I have, and she didn't use it the way that I would have used it. That's okay, but she didn't use it at all. So you cannot attach yourself to those kind of things. So I was so happy that I didn't have empathizer, because I know that hurt me. That hurt me so bad in my business. And there were people that I helped and gave my life to for 2 or 3 years and did everything for, that's come back to me and been like, you never were there for me. And I'm like, what? I was there for you. But to them, if I would have had those boundaries and those expectations and everything would have happened, I wouldn't have gotten so attached and it wouldn't have hurt so bad. You know what I mean? So another thing was a timekeeper. Timekeeper on here, I was like, what? I'm a timekeeper? Man, it's hard for me to get certain places, certain times. I mean, my dad's always punctual, but that's not what a timekeeper is. Timekeeper is someone who has deadlines, someone who always meets their deadlines. Just like he called me and said, hey, do you want to do this? And I'm like, do you know how crazy, busy it is right now in the fall where I have all this stuff and you want me to do a training call? Like, you always figure out a way to do it because you know how to set deadlines, you know how to set goals, you know how to do this. And they know that about me. So when I saw these things, I'm like, I am an optimist, I am a believer, I am timekeeper. And deliver is last because I try not to voice my opinion so much as far as listening to others. When I go to home parties, I'm listening. When I'm meeting people and I'm in an area, I go to the grocery store and I'm putting my groceries away, I'm listening to the conversations around me so that I know where I can add value and I know where I can let people know their worth. Becca Levi did a thing with You Matter bags where she just made a whole bunch of You Matter bags and just went to Walmart and gave out little You Matter bags because so many people don't believe in themselves. And it's those little bitty things when somebody does something so great for you that probably cost her nothing except her time and her belief, that it probably changed their moment like that to where they might have been having a really bad thought that they didn't, count in this world. And they got a You Matter bag. So I'm just want you to focus on what your results are because you can find out how to maximize it. So if you are an empathizer or a peacekeeper or a self-believer or whatever it is, that's fantastic. That's what you are. And that is going to be your mindset. So you don't need to be, when you're doing brainstorming and stuff, you need to say, hey guys, when y'all took this test, what did you get? Because you want to talk to 4 different people or 3 different people than what you have, so you can get an overall idea of everything that's going on. Because when we left that group, whenever we did that, my whole world was open. Because when I was with the coaches, we're like, yep, this is how it is, and this is our problem. But when I heard everybody else's stuff, I was like, man, you got to listen to other people. You have to know that they're thinking a different way. Sometimes your result is not their result, and the way that you get there is great, but there might be, 5 different ways to skin a cat. So you got to be willing to listen to others. And it'll help you as leading. It'll help you being able to delegate. And, if you have someone on your team that's really strong in Facebook parties, get them to train in Facebook parties. If you have someone who's really strong in home parties, get them to train in home parties. If you have someone who's really strong in fundraisers, get them to train in fundraisers. Get them out there to show their worth and what they master, and that it matters. Because if you're trying to do it all, you can't do that. You'll burn out. You'll burn out as a lead consultant. You'll burn out as a superstar director. And you got to figure out that every single person matters, and every single person has some kind of worth. And I have this saying, and I kept saying it at the retreat, and they ended up posting it everywhere. And I'm like, man, I really like that saying. I don't know where it came from. But I was like, I just want people to believe with me and not in me. And when I said that, people were like, wow. And that summed it up. It summed it up. I want all of you guys to believe with me that this company makes a difference. I want all of you guys to believe with me that you can change people's lives, and that, just like Gladys told me, people are waking up to meet you. I don't want you to believe in me. Shannon did this for me. Shannon set these systems up for me. Shannon had this call with me. Because of Shannon, I'm here. No. Shannon didn't do anything. You did it. You did it in yourself because you believe in you, and I believe in you, and you're believing with me. So that's what I wanted to get across tonight is the Facebook stuff, the why of why you're doing this business, and the recruiting of the $15 deal. You need to figure out a way to be able to share this. Some people had great accountability. They had goals set of 31 people in 1 month, right? We are 8 days in. I have 3 new people that have joined our team. It's up to me to get them to believe in themselves and to go. Because the people that joined, they just joined for that nightlight. They don't even know which one they're getting. And they're like, maybe I'll work my business. Maybe I won't. It's up to me to be able to show them that value and be able to say, hey, you know what? You work here and your dad's sick in the hospital, and I know you're going through so much. And you know what? Mary over here just went through the same thing, and she worked her business in power hours. I can hook you up with her, and she can tell you how she worked her business. And that's going to sound so much better than me saying, you got to find a way to do your business. I'm dealing with this, and this. So there's no excuse for you not to do yours. You see what I'm saying? You got to meet people where they are and help them where they are and connect them to someone who maybe have been where they are or is going to where they are, or they can help them presently where they are. Okay. So that's the most important thing I wanted to get across to you guys tonight. I am going to be teaching out of this BBB for the next couple of weeks. I'm going to go live about different things. I've got 3 of these now that we've gotten every year, and each year they get better. But there's things in here about booking parties. There's things in here about VIPs. There's things in here about whip boxes. There's things in here about how to start recruiting conversations. And so I just thought maybe we would just kind of dive in a little bit at a time and go after all this. Because if I sat here and told you all 100 pages of this right now, you'd be like, whoa, Shannon just hit me with a concrete block. We're going to take it step by step. I wanted you to figure out what you were. I wanted you to understand how Facebook worked so that you can do some attraction marketing, so that you can share the $15 special. You can share your story. You can share your life and in your business and make it fun, right? And I wanted to share a little bit about, my why, and maybe it would challenge you to go after your why. So that's it. And I know we went a little bit over, but I hope that you guys got some good content. Make sure you go to our page and you put your favorite superhero, okay? Because people will be like, why is everyone putting the superheroes? And it's going to let me know, because I always like to do some kind of fun little challenge. The money bag last month, I've got it finally sent out to our winner, and finally catching up in all the mail, and all the little Cincy Spirit awards have gone out. So you guys will get in those. And the what was the other one? The knockout a prize, whatever. I think we ended up with like a $50 gift certificate. I just got back on Monday night, and I will go through all that and make sure that I get it posted tomorrow, because tomorrow I'll have a full day at the house. I'm so excited. So if you guys need anything, you know where I am. I am here, and like I said, you know, I totally believe in you. You just gotta believe in yourself and get out there and do those things. So if there are any questions about anything, I hope that this helped you. I hope that you are fired up. You're ready to go live. Tomorrow I'll probably post the challenge for May, the rest of May, for us to go live and to share how we're going to do attraction marketing. Whether one person does it or whether 1,000 people do it, I don't care. I just want you guys to get comfortable and do that. One thing you can start out with is if you have the no limit bars, go live with those. They're still available. And they are amazing. I'm actually going to do that in just a little while. And whatever it is that the LTOs are, go live with it. Or either go to something basic tomorrow morning if you're making breakfast, or if you're making smoothies or whatever, like I did before I left. I did acai bowls, right? And I got a lot of engagement on that. And I got some people who actually ordered some things and asked me if I had any kind of berry scents. So crazy, right? The lady from a restaurant that I used to go and eat at, she just happened to be following me. And every time that I go live, I'd see her name on there. And I'm thinking, that is so crazy. She had never really talked to me. After about the 4th time that I went live, she sent me a message. Hey, I need some Mother's Day gifts. Do you have anything in stock? And I'm like, I don't keep a whole lot of stock, but I do have a few things, and I can get you some things before I leave. You know, we can order, go straight to you. And I built some relationships, and I'm getting like a $200 order from her and some people there, and she got free shipping and everything shipped to her while it's gone. So you never know where those lives are going to go. Okay. So I hope this was fun. It was fun for me. I love you guys. And I think this is going to be great. I'm going to do these monthly. Like I said, I'll be going live in our groups. You guys don't be scared to go live in our group too. If you guys have something that you post and get some great feedback on, or if you have a good idea, or if you have a great tip, or if you have any kind of inspiration or motivation, share it. Some people only have this one page that we have to be inspired and to be motivated and to see other people doing that. You know, this page is you guys' page. It's not just my page. It's any of you guys' page. And one of you guys can make a difference. You know, it says in that song, you know, he left the 99 for the one. If you post some kind of motivation or some kind of inspiration, just one person might see that and needed that day in our group, who's in a low, who might not have their 200, or they might feel like they're defeated. And you can change a life by doing that, okay? All right. Love you guys so much, and I will talk to you soon. And post your superheroes, okay? And then I'll post a recording later. Bye. Bye.
Thanks and bye.
Bye.
After what you want while I was walking earlier.
I know, I'm trying